Hey gang, Josh here with Mentor Public Library, bringing you another episode of Artpocalypse, our weekly arts and crafts video series. Here to show you something cool, so let's get started. So today's craft, I'm going to show you guys how to screen print your own fabrics or whatever, just using some simple ingredients. Well, they're not ingredients because you're not cooking, but you know what I mean. So for this one, you'll need an embroidery hoop, some kind of fabric that is porous, I guess, like a pantyhose or tulle. I think this is tulle. You'll need Mod Podge, some paint brushes, and an image that you want to put on your fabric. So to get started, you just put your fabric in the embroidery hoop. Loosen up. That should be good. I don't know why I have so many embroidery hoops. I don't embroider, so my life is a mystery, even to me. So tighten that up, and then once it's in there, you can pull around the edges so that the fabric in the hoop is tight as it can be. And then you can trim off all that excess if you want. I'm just going to leave it for now. And then flip it over onto your image, and then you can use, I'm using a Sharpie so it'll hopefully show up better on camera, but you can just use a pencil or a pen or whatever to trace. That's all we're going to do is just trace this image. And it can be as detailed as you want. It's going to be difficult if it's more detailed. I try to stick to simple stuff when I'm doing this, because we're going to cover the rest of this fabric with the Mod Podge. So if you're really good at painting, you can do that, more detailed stuff, but if you're not, stick to something simple. This doesn't have to be like exact. You can kind of do your own thing. Okay, so then you can set your image aside, because now it's on the fabric, and then you take your Mod Podge. I think you can also probably use glue. I've read you can also use latex paint if you have that at home too. Basically all we're doing is just covering up anything we don't want painted on the fabric so that it's sealed. So you can do that just by brushing it on. And we'll do a little bit here, and then we'll move on to what this looks like in the end, because I have one already made. Basically you're just, brushing a bunch of paint onto some fabric. And then you'll do that again when you're screen printing. So I'll usually go around and trace the outline of the whole image, and then go in with a bigger brush and just fill in the rest of the space. But I'm just gonna, like I said, do a little bit to give you guys a sense of what you should be doing, and then show you a finished result. And if as you're going, you end up going inside the lines and you get something in your image that you don't want, you can just take either like a wet cloth or a Q-tip that's been soaked in like soapy water and just kind of brush that off, let it dry, and then keep going. So we'll do, you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. Just covering all of this with glue. And it'll seep through to the other side, so you might have like a glop of paint coming, or glue coming through. So you can flip sides and kind of spread it out so it dries quicker, but you want to make sure that all the little holes in your fabric on here are covered, or else the paint, when you're doing the screen printing, will bleed through. And if that's the effect you're going for, then just leave it open a little bit. But you kind of see what I'm doing, so I'm going to put this to the side and show you the one that I had set up this morning, which is one of my favorite animals. I did a little sea turtle. So let's get to screen printing. So I have this old t-shirt we can put an image on, because it's just this tan t-shirt, right? You want to punch it up a little. So take your image, put it down so that it's flat against your fabric. And then if you have fabric paint, that works better. I just have acrylic right now. You can just fill in, fill in your image on the shirt. Professional screen printers will have like a squeegee, and they'll like slide it across, but you can lay down some paint on here and then go back over it with like an old gift card or a credit card, kind of scrape off the excess. But I'm just gonna wing it. Let's just see what happens. And hopefully this works. I put enough on here that it gets saturated through that top fabric onto the shirt. You can like press down into it. You can make a, let's fill in that leg so we don't have a three-legged turtle, right? Be cute but sad, right? And then hopefully this works. Just lift that up carefully. And there you go. You got a screen printed turtle. And you can mix and match colors. You can do like dozens of turtles or whatever image you have. It's a really exciting craft.